Speaking in public has more formality than talking. During a speech, you should present yourself well. It means being prepared to use language correctly and appropriately for the audience and the topic, to make eye contact with your audience, and to look like you know your topic very well. While speaking has more formality than talking, it has less formality than reading. Speaking allows for meaningful pauses, eye contact, and small changes in word order and vocal emphasis. Reading is more or less an exact replication of words on paper without the use of any nonverbal interpretation. Speaking, if you will realize if you think about excellent speakers you've seen and heard, provides a more animated message. Speaking will fit into one of these four categories: impromptu speeches, extemporaneous speeches, manuscript speeches, and memorized speeches. Impromptu speaking is the presentation of a short message without advanced preparation. Impromptu speeches often occur when someone is asked to say a few words or give a toast on a special occasion. You've probably done impromptu speaking many times in informal, conversational settings. Self-introductions in a group setting, that's an example of an impromptu speech. The advantage of this kind of speaking is that it's spontaneous and responsive in an animated group context. The disadvantage is that the speaker is given little or no time to contemplate the central theme of his or her message. As a result, the message may be disorganized and a bit difficult for listeners to follow. Impromptu speeches are generally most successful when they are brief and focused on a single point. Extemporaneous speaking is the presentation of a carefully planned and rehearsed speech, spoken in a conversational manner using brief notes. By using notes rather than a full manuscript, the extemporaneous speaker can establish and maintain eye contact with the audience and assess how well they're understanding the speech as it progresses. Speaking extemporaneously has some advantages. It promotes the likelihood that you, the speaker, will be perceived as knowledgeable and credible. In addition, your audience is likely to pay better attention to the message because it's engaging both verbally and non-verbally. The disadvantage of extemporaneous speaking is that it requires a great deal of preparation for both the verbal and non-verbal components of the speech. Adequate preparation cannot be achieved the day before you're scheduled to speak. Because extemporaneous speaking is the style used in the great majority of public speaking situations, most of the information presented in this class is targeted to this kind of speaking. Manuscript speaking is the word-for-word iteration of a written message. In a manuscript speech, the speaker maintains his or her attention on the printed page, except possibly when using a visual aid. The advantage to reading from a manuscript is the exact repetition of the original wording. In some circumstances, this can be extremely important. For example, if you are reading a statement about your organization's legal responsibilities to customers, it may require that the original wording be exact. However, there are costs involved in manuscript speaking. First, it's typically an uninteresting way to present. It's worth noting that professional speakers, actors, news reporters, and politicians often read from an auto cue device such as a teleprompter, especially when appearing on television where eye contact with the camera is crucial. But with practice, a speaker can achieve a conversational tone and give the impression of speaking extemporaneously while using one of these devices. However, success with this medium depends on two factors. The speaker is already an accomplished public speaker who has learned to use a conversational tone when delivering a prepared speech, and two, the speech is written in a style that sounds conversational. The last style of speaking is memorized speaking, and it is the rote recitation of a written message that the speaker has committed to memory. Actors, of course, recite from memory whenever they perform from a script. When it comes to speeches, memorization can be useful when the message needs to be exact and the speaker doesn't want to be bothered by notes. The advantage to memorization is that it enables the speaker to maintain eye contact with the audience throughout the speech. But unless you can sound conversational when doing this, and you've all seen bad actors who can't, memorized speeches are best left to the professionals.